And welcome to the Trinity Grade 4 song Gigue by Antonio Lozzi from the Trinity Grade 4 song from the 2016 to 2019 series. A lovely little piece, Baroque piece, so lots of interesting features, and well, I would say quite a tricky piece to play as well, if I'm being honest. To get this to tempo takes a lot of work and a lot of understanding of your left and right hand fingerings. It's very difficult just to play without some form of knowledge of where your fingers are going to go. Of course, a lovely feature of Baroque is the use of, I guess, a strong and purposeful bass line, we'll call it. And you can probably see why straight away if we just look at the song going into it straight away. The first thing actually I will mention though is the time signature. Of course, we've got 12 beats in a bar, 12 quaver beats, so each beat is effectively split into 3, so we get 1 2 3 2 2 3 3 2 3 4 2 3. So that gives us the 12 beats there. 4 beats split into 12 quavers. So let's look at that bass line straight away. I think it's well worth understanding what we're trying to do. We've got a nice melody line on top, but underneath we've got this A, 1, then 2, 3. Use the fingerings that's written. There's our C, so we've got A, B, C, D, E, F, E, then finishing off with a low E as it kind of finishes the phrase. Always remember to try to bring those bass notes out as you're playing, so you can actually hear that progression happening in the lower register there. So straight away I'll put fingers 1 on a C and 2 on an A. I'm going to use my index finger to start the song with the high E, thumb to play the lower note, the A there, and then M, I. So it just enabled the nice transition from the second to the first string to second string by going E, M, I. Okay, I, M, I. And that just gives us a good solid start. So writing those right hand fingerings down will be good for you to start with. So let's have a look at the first phrase. So we start with the E. Okay, straight away we've got a movement there. Then finger 1 plays the B. Finger 4 again. Finger 3 G sharp, and then you move finger 1 up. Okay, to play the C and the A. So let's have a little look at that. Okay, that's just taking me into the next phrase. So you can hear that straight here, that 1 2 3 1 2 3 type rhythm that's going on. I guess the first phrase really carries on until the end of bar 2, but we've got a little sub phrase there in bar 1. So I'll take it from the end of bar 1 and we'll play the next phrase. Quite tricky fingerings happening in this bar as well. So we've got an E, D and F to C. Now I'm going to use A, M, I to play B, C and then an A, but I know there's an F comes in there as well. So I'm going to play A, M, I. Now that's quite tricky in its own right to get fingers 3 and 4, and I'm going to make it probably even more tricky, sorry to say, by you keep finger 2 down, because in the next beat you do actually play finger 2 again. So if you can keep finger 2 down here, it will really be helpful. Now I can release A, M, I across the 3 strings there, of course, to play that little E major chord ending up with low E. So just going through that little bit quite slowly to help us through. So we start with that E, D and F, B, C, now A, M, fingers 4 and 3, get used to practicing that if you need to help you there. Now the end part. So I hope that's helpful in your right hand fingerings for the last, well, in bar 2 for those couple of bars there, couple of beats, sorry. That takes us through to the next part. This B note is going to lead us to the next phrase. So we get C. Okay, so tricky there because fingers 4 and 3. You can see what I did there. I used finger 3 as written for that A, because now fingers 2 and 4 are going to play those next notes. So it's allowing smooth transitions really on the left hand. I'll just slow down there because there's a tricky point coming up here. So we've ended up with E, G and C. Move finger 4 up to high A, finger 2 plays the F natural, finger 1 will eventually play the A, and I'm going to go thumb, A, I. Now I'm not going to use my IM fingerings that I've been using there. 2 strings apart, so I'll do that. There's various ways you could play the next bar, but let's just play it beat, but let's just play it the way it's written. So G, D, B, okay. But what I could have done there, I could have gone from this F, A, I could have moved up and played G, fret 5 on string 4 and put fingers 1 and 2 down, D, B, and it keeps the same tone. That's what's been happening here, this ascending bass line on the low notes. Okay, that would have been quite nice, but if you play the open string it can be a little bit weaker and thinner, but it doesn't matter, you've got a choice there now, so you could do this. And then you can just lift finger 3 to go, it's a G, sorry, underneath, to help you transition there. If you want to play the open string, that's fine, to just go G, D, B, and now you've got your 2 Gs and A. Tricky here to get finger 4 onto that F for the B, so don't be afraid to practice little bars like that to help you. Okay, next beat, open strings. Okay, so it kind of feels almost like at the end, but not quite, because we now got open E, A bass, high A. Tricky bar this one. C sharp. Okay, A, C sharp. Now the way to do this is to prepare finger 2, so it's hovering over string 5, it comes back to play the B and D sharp, descending bass there. Now fingers 1 and fingers 2 play the low F sharp and high F sharp. Remember D sharp, E to D sharp with the B bass. Actually I should use finger 2 there, because now I'm going to use finger 1 to play the E major chord. Lots of tricky features here. If I just take a step back and look at that first tricky one, where you got the bar 2, E and B, and then 3 and 4, I think it's well worth practicing like that to really get that comfortable. It's quite tricky when you're not used to playing a song like this. And yes, this bar 6, now you've got to think in advance, you've got to put finger 2 there on the B, F sharp, this is comfortable, G sharp with those, the E. Hand position, you can see that I've had to rotate my hand right around to get those 2 fingers like that, then back to this kind of classical position for the B and D sharp. So what I'll do, I'll work now in the second video on the second half of the song. So take those parts very slowly, practice the tricky bits in isolation, and then build your tempo up.